Utah Republican Party State Party Platform as ratified at the 2009 State Convention. Preamble. We, the Republican Party of the great state of Utah, affirm our belief in God and declare our support for government based upon moral and spiritual foundation. We affirm freedom for every individual as expressed in the Declaration of Independence and protected by the Constitution. We believe that citizens' needs are best met through free enterprise, private initiative, and volunteerism. We support the rule of law and believe in the upholding of the law of the land. The proper role of government. We believe government properly exists by the consent of the governed and must be restrained from intruding into the freedoms of its citizens. The function of government is not to grant rights, but to protect the inalienable God-given rights of life, liberty, property, and the pursuit of happiness. Private property. We recognize the rights of the individual to own property. We resist any efforts by government to take private property without an overwhelming need for public use. We strongly oppose the forfeiture of private property from innocent owners. Reaffirmation of states' rights. We oppose congressional, judicial, and executive abrogation of the principle that the powers not delegated to the United States by the Constitution, nor prohibited by it to the states, are reserved to the states respectively or to the people. We oppose unreasonable and intrusive federal mandates. Ethics and standards. We demand honesty, integrity, morality, and accountability of our public officials. We work to expose and stop corruption. National security and public protection. We support a military force of sufficient strength and readiness to deter any threat to our national sovereignty or to the safety and freedom of our citizens. We support the constitutional mandate to protect and secure our national borders. We oppose any placement of United States troops under any foreign command, including the United Nations. We support lawful efforts of local law enforcement agencies to protect citizens in their homes and in their communities. We urge reform of the legal system to accomplish a swift and balanced administration of justice, including consideration of rights of the victim. We support capital punishment when appropriate. Self-defense. We support the individual constitutionally protected right of the people to keep and bear arms for security and defense of self, family, others, property, or the state, as well as for other lawful purposes. We encourage personal responsibility for the care and use of these firearms. Freedom of religion. We claim freedom of religion for every citizen and expect the protection of government in securing to us this inalienable right. We affirm the right to religious expression, including prayer in both private and public. Family values. We recognize the traditional family as the fundamental unit of society. We affirm that parents have the fundamental right and primary responsibility to direct the upbringing of their children and to provide nurturing care, discipline, and training in moral values. Right to life. We believe in the right to life for both the born and unborn. We strongly oppose abortion, except to preserve the life of the mother or in cases of rape or incest. We believe the unborn child has a fundamental right to life which cannot be infringed. We believe all human life is sacred, regardless of age or infirmity, and therefore we oppose abortion, euthanasia, assisted suicide, and the public funding of any of these abhorrent practices. Human services. We believe that the primary responsibility for meeting basic human needs rests with the individual, the family, and the voluntary charitable organizations. We recognize, however, that there are special social needs which must be addressed through state human service programs. We support requiring welfare recipients to work towards self-sufficiency. Heritage. We recognize the contributions made to our quality of life through ethnic diversity. Equal rights. We believe that no individual is entitled to rights that exceed or supersede the God-given individual rights guaranteed by the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of Utah. Education. We believe that all children should have access to quality education. Parents have the primary right and responsibility to educate their children, and we support their right to choose public, private, or home education. We support incentives to promote competitive excellence. We encourage cooperative initiatives to help all Utahns become literate in English. We support the prudent and profitable use of school trust lands. We support all interest and dividends from the permanent state school fund being distributed to each public and charter school to improve student academic performance. Taxation. We accept the necessity for limited taxation in order for government to perform and administer these services which meet essential public needs. However, we recognize that the power to tax is also the power to control, and believe that the best way to control government is to strictly control the amount of taxes imposed on the people. We encourage further simplification of tax systems, the elimination of estate tax, and broad-based rate reduction where possible. Regulation. We recognize that government regulation can be a major impediment to productivity and to competition. We must rely more on market forces and less on government. Regulatory power now exercised by the federal government must be eliminated or returned to state and local governments. Economic development. We believe that a strong, diversified economy based on a positive work ethic, a well-trained and well-educated workforce, a business-friendly environment, and a safe workplace will help Utah compete in a world marketplace. We believe that developing our human resources is essential to the future of Utah. We support the Utah Right to Work law. The environment. We appreciate the quality of our environment. Our air, water, and land are at the heart of our existence and must be protected through balanced management. We support the reasonable laws and volunteer efforts to improve air and water quality. We continue to seek reasonable solutions to controversies surrounding uses of our wilderness. We seek to preserve the environment while serving the best interests of our U.S. citizens. We oppose as unconstitutional the declaration by any president without approval from Congress of any large tract of land as a national monument. We call on the governor of the state of Utah to use the Constitutional Defense Fund and other resources at his disposal to bring any such declaration affecting Utah before the United States Supreme Court for reversal. Jury. The jury is a fundamental institution of liberty because it is the only anchor yet imagined by man by which a government can be held to the principles of its constitution. The jury has the right and the authority to acquit if jurors feel justice will be served. Immigration. America is a stronger and better nation because of the hard work and entrepreneurial spirit of legal immigrants, and the Republican Party honors them. We believe that control of our borders is an urgent national security interest, and our national sovereignty depends on those secure borders. We oppose illegal immigration and all forms of amnesty or legal status for illegal immigrants. We support suspending automatic U.S. citizenship to children born to illegal immigrant parents. We oppose granting government benefits to those illegally present in the U.S. We oppose any temporary or guest worker program that would offer an automatic path to citizenship. We believe that current laws against employing illegal immigrants should be vigorously enforced, particularly to stem the now too common crime of identity theft in obtaining employment. Utah state sovereignty. The original 13 sovereign states in the Constitutional Convention created the Constitution of the United States of America, and subsequently ratified that document, creating a federal government and granting to that government limited and enumerated powers. The 10th Amendment to the Constitution of the United States defines federal powers as those enumerated in the Constitution and reserves all other powers to the states and to the people. It remains the sacred responsibility of the states as creators of the federal government to keep the federal powers within the limits set by the Constitution. We resolve that the Republican Party of the great state of Utah and any elected party members take any and all steps necessary to ensure that federal powers exercised within the great state of Utah not exceed those granted by the Constitution of the United States, and that those usurpations of state sovereign powers already violated by the federal government be corrected by the state legislature and enforced by the governor's office, thus protecting Utah state sovereignty. Our mission. The Republican Party is a party by the people and for the people. We appreciate the productivity of our citizens, affirm infinite worth of all individuals, and seek the best possible quality of life for all. We invite all citizens to join us in working together for a better Utah.